由 Chris Pratt 同 Bryce Howard 主演嘅《侏羅紀世界》3部曲最終章早前上映。今次仲有系列嘅元祖演員 Laura Dern、Sam Neill、Jeff Goldblum 等回歸演出，新舊兩代陣容合體，令人相當期待。呢日我哋嘅主播黃振全邀請到導演 Colin Trevorrow 以及包括男女主角在內嘅幾位演員做越洋訪問時 ，Chris 都話聽到幾位前輩會參演，就難掩激動心情啊
！Oh, I was so excited to hear from Colin the story and how he was going to seamlessly bring these characters in. It's really there. I mean, it's all of our movie in an amazing way. We have converging storylines, and unlike Jurassic Park, this is not separate or located on just one area. It's the whole world. So you've got various storylines happening all around the globe that end up converging, and so I was just thrilled. I couldn't believe that I was going to share the screen with them, and it was just kind of a dream come true.
And Bryce, what about your action sequences? We saw you jumping from roof to roof. How was it?
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, yes, there's a lot of action in this film, particularly for Claire, and it was an absolute blast. And I must say, while it was very intensive, it would have been way more intense if I didn't have an incredible stunt double named Sarah Laughlin. And so, so Sarah went to Malta and was shooting so much of that. And then when I saw it, I was like, how are you still alive, woman? It was incredible to watch.
And one question, Bryce, what do you think about Chris on the motorcycle in the movie?
Oh my God, I mean, first of all, motorcycles are very dangerous, and I just want everyone to be reminded of that. And if you are driving a motorcycle, you're putting your life at risk. But that being said, Chris Pratt looks really sexy on a motorcycle, especially
Really?
when he's either being accompanied or chased by dinosaurs. It's pretty incredible.
It wasn't an easy job during the pandemic, right?
Shooting the movie was complicated during the pandemic because there was extended periods of absence. Normally you can fly home for a quick week and fly back, but obviously because of the way that the world was and the protocols that were put in place for our film, I wasn't able to do that. So I'd take extended periods of time away from home, which for me was by far the hardest part.
Yeah.
But the trade-off was we all got to be in a bubble, all of the cast and crew, or all of the cast at least, staying at a hotel, and so we all got to spend so much time together and had the opportunity to really bond and you know, it was really nice to have sort of your surrogate family at the hotel in London, or outside of London.
電影中唔單止有新品種恐龍出現，而且故事場景橫跨全球，恐龍群會走出自然景區，散落喺各個城市中。唔知導演 Colin 喺拍攝呢啲場口時，會唔會好有難度呢？
Very challenging, but it was very exciting, and it just opened up all kinds of opportunities for us to see these creatures that we'd really only seen in one kind of environment for 5 movies now, and really just unleash them into the world as we know it.
And you were a teenager when you first watched Jurassic Park. How was it like working with the original legacy cast this time? It must be very emotional.
It was, you know, and yet by the time we actually got on set, we had been living together for a long time, and so we knew each other really well, and we've been talking about our characters and these roles in our story, and I think by the time it actually was, you know, the day of, it wasn't me and these icons I'd you know only seen from afar since I was a little kid. It was me and people who I knew, who were friends, and we really could get into it and do the work.
During the filming, the whole crew moved to a hotel, and actually, does it bring something good to the entire filming?
It does. That's a great observation. It absolutely does. And you know, because we were living together, we would see each other, you know, on weekends, and we would spend time working on the characters, on the dialogue, everything to make it the best movie we possibly could make it. So if you enjoy the movie, it's not me you have to thank. It's all of the actors together and all of the people who worked on it, because we really did collaborate in a kind of unprecedented way for a film because of that situation.
So how was your frisbee time in the hotel? Was it the only moment that you didn't have to think about anything about the movie?
That's exactly why my frisbee time existed. Technically, it was an aerobie, which is a California-based kind of ring that you throw. And there was something about those 2 hours every week that everybody knew. You know, I just get to throw this disc back and forth. It was very peaceful.
And have you let Steven Spielberg watch the entire movie yet?
Yes, I've let him watch it. He can watch it whenever he wants. But yeah, he's actually seen it several times, like during our process, and he's very satisfied with where we've left all these characters. I know he cares about them very much.
Jeff Goldblum 時隔29年再次同老拍檔 Laura 同 Sam 喺呢個系列再聚首，佢都好開心啊！
Well, it's amazing for me to be on the set with Laura Dern and Sam Neill. They're so great. I'm so proud to be associated with them at all, and to work with them is an amazing experience. They're just two of our best actors, and they're the most amazing people. It was great, and it was like, gee, we did this and we hadn't been reunited on screen since then, so we had to remember, but so much of it came back like a dream, and it was almost 30 years ago, and we had so much to adore each other about and to reminisce about.
And do you still remember the moments you, Sam, and Laura saw each other again in the hotel?
Yes. Here's what happened, now that you mention it. I pulled up in my car, and I brought my kids with me. I've got two boys, 5-year-old, a 7-year-old almost now, and Emily, and the three of us got out of the car, and Sam and Laura were already there, and there was a little sort of balcony, outside balcony, that they stationed themselves on, and as soon as I got out of the car, they were there to greet us. It was the sweetest thing. I was already choked up by it.
Okay, so have your children watched all your movies, especially Jurassic Park?
They haven't seen all my movies, certainly not. There are a bunch of them that are a little too adult for them, because like I say, they're 5 and almost 7, but I did show them in the last year or so Jurassic Park and Jurassic Lost World, the first and second movies, and they were kind of scared and amazed, but they loved them. They have never, believe it or not, been to a movie theater. They have not seen any movies. We're trying to keep them away from screens mostly, and they've never been to a movie theater, but we have plans to take them for the first time to a movie theater on June 10th, when they can see Lost World Dominion, stand in the back of a hopefully crowded movie theater, and I think it'll be exciting.
The Wonder Vice 同 Mamadou Atre 作為系列新丁，當然相當興奮，而且 The Wonder Vice 仲好難忘佢首次見到博士3人組嗰刻啊！
Well, I remember the day Laura moved into the hotel. I feel like she brought some like surfboards that she never used because we could not leave the hotel. I remember Jeff brought his piano to the hotel. And Sam, if I could give everyone an item, this is what they brought. Laura brought surfboards, Jeff brought his piano, and Sam has a really fantastic line of wines. He had like literally owns a vineyard called Two Paddocks. So he brought so much wine. You know, it was a very good time. It was it was really such a blessing to meet all of them, you know, both as human beings and performers at the same time.
Did Jeff show you his jazz dance?
Yeah, Jeff is jazz dancing throughout this entire movie. You're welcome, world.
And most of them brought their family to the hotel too, right? Must be so much fun.
Mm-hmm. My husband was there. Jeff was there with his family. Yeah, I mean, it was really, you know, an honor to get to know them. And also, you know, an experience that's super atypical for a movie of this size is there were actors that, you know, I didn't have scenes with, but we still got to hang out and get to know each other, you know, and I even think that the spirit of that, you know, and the kind of cheering each other on, like one actor would come back, you know, Scott Hayes would come back from working that day and Colin would be showing the fight sequence that he just did with Chris Pratt, you know? So there was a level of just all hands on deck and a level of ownership that the actors had of this film that is completely, most likely unprecedented, but also just a very special experience to have.
而 Mamadou 亦分享被選中加盟系列嘅因由。
And I heard that Colin watched one of your movie and decided to get you into the cast. Tell us more about when you picked up the call.
Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere, to be honest. I was like, what? You saw what? You saw what? Okay, cool. I'm happy to be a part of it. Yeah, I think he saw this movie I did called The Front Runner and just thought it'd be really right for this movie. And we had this great conversation over lunch. And we just also found out that we just really vibed and really liked each other. So it was super great. And that experience, that lunch, has held up over the test of time. And he really is a great guy and a great leader.